Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Pretty Ninja Racing's YouTube channel. My name is Anders. If you've just come over from race 1, well guess what, this is race 2. And notice how little drivers we have. That's right ladies and gentlemen, we passworded this race purely because of the absolute carnage that happened at Oldham Park. A lot of, everyone basically in the community was annoyed, upset, bit distraught, bit of trauma, bit of PTSD, and as long as we get the numbers, I don't mind passwording the server, but I don't feel like it's going to help us grow our lovely little community or little corner of the sim racing community. So I know I keep on saying this in every single video, but please do get involved. Like, don't just watch the videos, come and race with us. Doesn't matter what your skill set is, just head over to PNSRL.EU and we'll be more than happy for you to join in, even if you're completely brand new to sim racing. We are here to help you along the way, and if you are a god, well guess what, we got a Bo Dixon. That's basically like the Avengers saying that we've got a Hulk. So if you are a sim racing god, we've got someone that can probably match your pace. So here we are at the Nurburgring. This is just practice. This isn't the race. We're going to head to the race pretty much, well, straight after this transition. So here we are. 6 cars on the grid. Ravenous takes P1, 66 P2, Connor takes P3, Jamski P4, Lemmy P5, and Anders P6 after not getting a lap. Terrible. I had a pretty rough night, to be honest with you. But let's just see how this one pans out. And yes, as you can imagine, there's going to be a little bit less carnage. I might be able to talk you through a few more bits and bobs whilst the race is going on. But let's just get the start underway, and off we go. Great start by 66. Absolutely leapfrogging Rabimus. And for some reason, Jamski, or the games, for some reason, put him in a weird camera angle, and Connor runs a little bit wide into T1, but manages to hold on to that P3 position. Rabimus is in P2, already a full half a second down from 66. Anders is in P4, gaining 2 positions off the start. Jamski is now P5 as Fabrice Lemmy just runs a little bit wide there through the twisty complex here at Nurburgring GP. This is the fast chicane layout. So it's a full circuit, the only difference is the chicane at the end of the back straight. So Rabimus, not the best race one. As we head down the hill to the wonderful banked hairpin. Lovely stuff, everyone making it round nice and smooth, and you can see Rabimus has got the bit between his teeth. On this occasion, the 2 McLarens are leading the way. And the field has only got a 4-second gap at this moment in time, so it was pretty even Steven at this precise moment in time. Jamski there in the Alpine. The Alpine was lethal around this circuit. It's so fast in a straight line, twitchy in the corners, but if you can master it, my word, that car is good. Really, really very good. As we head through the fast chicane for the first time in this race, everyone making it unscathed. It looks like it. And there's myself in the Audi R8. Do enjoy this car. It's a little bit understeery though. It's hard to get the understeer out of that car, even with very low wing and a stiff rear anti-roll bar. It's very, very tricky to make it quite pointy, seeming as it is mid-engined. Connor currently holding on to P3 at the moment, with the R8 and the Alpine, the A110, chasing him down. Connor taking a slightly defensive line, but Anders is not close enough to get any moves done. But you can see Mango Banjo is a little bit on the edge there. Just not quite getting the car slowed down enough. We head down to the hairpin. Jamski looking to make a move on Anders and getting it done. Anders leaves the door open. Oh, and Connor's gone off. And Jamski not really leaving Anders much room there. And that's Jamski moved into P3. As through the Schumacher S as we go. And what the auto... no, we got it. So Jamski is holding on to P3 now, chasing for Bruce Marbus. And 66 runs wide at the top of the hill. He's not going to get as good an exit here on the back straight. Can Rabimus get anything done here? Is the slipstream good enough? That's the question. And sadly, the answer is nay. And Rabimus taking a deeper line to be able to get back on the power early. And in our series, we only allow 4 track cuts. So you do have to be careful around somewhere like this because it's usually the exit curbs that will catch you out. As we head down into T1, 66 leading the way. With 5 minutes almost gone. Rabimus is looking rather feisty though. Looking to try and get the work done. Just realised I might have this YouTube video a little bit quiet. Oh, I do. Apologies, let me just do that. I might mess up the audio a sec. Check the levels. Yeah, they are quite high. Bear with me. Just lower it down a little bit. There we go. So I'm recording live on the fly, keeping it nice and natural. And Rabimus is really trying to pile on the pressure here to 66. Jamski is also closing the gap rather quickly. So these two McLarens need to work together. Ideally, to keep that white Alpine at bay. And whoa, Rabbit looked quite deep from that camera angle. Possibly, yeah, it did look rather deep. Almost looked like he was going to take 66 out there. Whoa, well done, Rabbit. And there is Jamski off in the corner. The auto director didn't catch up, but Jamski basically didn't have the same effect as what there is Jamski. Didn't have the same reaction or response rather from their car as Rabimus did from going off. Jamski's car had an absolute tank slapper coming out of the Schumacher S's and spat him right off. So it was probably something to do with the bump stop on the Alpine is probably quite shallow. So probably bottomed out, and 66 runs wide, and Rabimus takes the opportunity to go into P1 on lap 3. Now it's 66's job to chase down and haggle and put Rabimus under pressure. And this is just there in the background, about 1.5 seconds behind. Not quite got the legs in the R8, which I did find surprising. Thought the R8 was going to have... Oh, and Jamski spun it at T1. Oh no, pushing maybe a little bit too hard. There is one thing that even Jamski will admit, is that he's not necessarily the best at following traffic into slow corners. Not the best person of judgment, always. Especially when they've got the bit between the teeth and when they're annoyed. And that was probably a track cut for me because I went to another postcode on the exit of that corner. Oh my days. But 66 currently struggling to keep up with Rabimus here. I say that, but they're less than a second behind. So talking absolute waffle in a minute. But in all fairness to Rabimus, he has pulled a nice healthy little gap here. Is enough to know that 66 won't be able to challenge. And an AMS2, you have to be kind of within half a second for the slip to really take hold. Which he isn't, but we'll see if it does close the gap down. A little bit, yeah. So maybe the slip is a little bit active. Not 100% convinced because it wasn't that rapid. Oh, that was rather bumpy exit, but 66 has closed half a second on the fast chicane alone. Connor sadly not having the best of races for race 2, 43 seconds behind, clearly not having the best of times in this race after such a heroic drive in race 1. Not having the best of times. Hear a car revving. I think another car has spun out. I mean, Jamski's not really. Yeah, maybe it was Jamski, or it might have been Connor a little bit more. Gained a couple of seconds. But 66 is on the rear bumper of Rubbermas here, not giving him an easy drive. Anders has fallen down to 3 seconds there, so these two are clearly getting away from the R8. 10.5 minutes remaining. So this race again was live streamed on our YouTube channel. Usually the servers start at 8:30 on a Wednesday. That's British summer time. And we're always looking for fresh drivers to join our races. Just fill out the grid just a little bit more, regardless of your skill set. Because I'm sure regardless of what skill set you are, you're going to have a nice time. You're going to learn a lot. And if you've not done any league racing before, we're probably a pretty good start to go with, to be honest with you. We are quite open, all of us. We're also really weird. Just going to say that as well. Let's put that out there. .66 then. Losing a little bit of time there in Sector 3 and down into through Sector 1. Gap now becoming a second. And I'm not entirely sure what 66 does to their setups, but what I can tell you throughout the rest of this race is that he is delicately commenting that his rear end is becoming rather light and floaty, and that's usually because these GT4s are designed for endurance, so they're designed to carry heavy weight. So the lighter the car doesn't necessarily always mean the better the handling. Yes, it might make it a bit quicker, but it might make it a little bit more of a handful and a little bit more sketchy. And to be fair, that McLaren really rides the Schumacher S's really well. Better than any car that I've kind of seen. I know the R8 didn't like him too much. And I know the Alpine certainly didn't. I'm not quite sure about the Aston Martin. Probably not. Well, would it? Maybe it would. It's front engined. Front engine cars usually handle curbs a little bit better. Pardon me. Sorry, that was a little bit of a tired yawn. I'm recording this at 11:30 in the evening. Nice. It's not evening. It's night time. I should be in bed. But I'm doing this because I haven't done it for a while. And I feel like I should give it another go and see if I enjoy it and see what you guys think. So make sure you leave a like, dislike, or a comment from what you think. Make conversation with me. I'm more than happy to respond in the next race, or even on our Discord, like I said. But 7 minutes remaining, roughly 2 minutes 2 seconds a lap around here. So we're talking three laps remaining. including this one, I believe, if my maths is correct. So we'll be coming over the finish line with less than 6 minutes to go. So we shall see. And you can see that 66 has definitely dropped off the pace. The auto director loves 66 in this race. So I'm not interested in what Jamski's doing. I'm not interested in what Fabrice Lemy's doing. I'm not interested in where Connor is right now. I won't give you an update. We're just going to watch 66 and his lovely black and red McLaren. I really do have to play with this auto director a little bit more tonight. But you can see that myself and the R8 behind in P3 slowly gaining a little bit. Noticing that 66 is not having the smoothest of journeys. We'll try and capitalise on that. And up to the fast chicane, there you go. Maybe if it was the slow chicane it might bunch people up a little bit more, I don't know, but it's hard to know when you're picking tracks. And in all fairness, the track that I stated on the website was the new 2025 version, and I didn't mean that one. I did actually mean to do this one, so people did actually practice on the slow chicane, not the fast. So we are human. I will make mistakes and you will hate me for it, but at the end of the day, as long as we're all having a good time, that's all that matters. So it's now decided to shift over to Anderson P3 because this is where the closest battle on the circuit is currently happening. Those playing Battlefield 6 apparently. Nice. Does look quite good. So through sector 1 we go, and the gap is less than a second because the time that you can see in blue in the top left of your screen, or the time in general, is the time to the race leader, not the car in front, like on Formula 1 TV. Sky Sports. So you have to do a quick bit of mental maps. So the gap right now is less than half a second, and 66 is really struggling here with this McLaren. And the 00R8 behind us, and the one car in the background now we haven't really mentioned too much, Fabrice Lemmy, has finally got into the groove with 4 minutes remaining. So podium positions are anyone's to grab at the minute, with 2 laps to go after this one. And down the hill we go through the right hand kink up to the fast chicanes. Rabimus is putting in an absolute stellar drive after such a disappointing race 1. It's not enough carnage really, is there? Not enough carnage. As down into T1 we go, and this is just not close enough to get anything done there. The timing board is completely broken. There we go. Sort itself out now. Not quite sure what that was. It was completely broken. And here is Fabrice Lemmy in the black Alpine. Very close behind Anders. Anders very close behind 66. Now you can do a really good defensive move here, where if you slow up just enough to hold up the car behind, to put them under pressure from the car behind them, is one of the best defensive moves that you can do. And I'm pretty sure that's what 66 is trying to do right here, but he's got to play it really candidly, really well. As we go down the hill to hairpin once more. And Fabrice Lemmy, the legs on the Alpine is going to be good against the R8. Especially on that back straight yet again. A lot closer this time. I think Alpine could definitely have the R8 here. So on the back straight we go. Anders is trying to stay in the slip, but then Fabrice Lamy has also got the slip of the Alpine. Anders not going defensive there. I think Fabrice Lamy, if they really wanted to, could have possibly have done something, but I guess it wasn't quite slow enough to do something through the fast chicane. Maybe if it was into a harsher braking zone, it might have made a bit more of an overtaking opportunity. But on to the last lap we go. And P2 could be anybody's right now. Hard on the brakes go through the 3 drivers. And at the right time, your director just goes, let's have a look at Rasmus. Forget the 3-car battle. Thank you. There we go. God, the auto director, whoever's running that show right now needs to be fired. We need someone else better for next week. Anders has managed to extend a little bit of a gap to Fabrice Lamy. Not that that truly matters. 66 is still under quite a lot of pressure. Less than half a second between them both, by the looks of it. Maybe just a bit more than half a second, but looks like Anders is getting a little bit more racy now as we head down into the hairpin, and 66 really hard on the brakes there. I'm not quite sure if you can see the rear end kicked out, and that subtle engine note, as you can see, was Fabrice Lamy spinning the Alpine on the braking or into the entry of the banked hairpin at the bottom of the hill. So that is Fabrice Lamy out of the running for a podium position. But can 66 hold on to P2? We've got 5 seconds left on the race clock to go. Rasmus, sorry, is well in the driver's seat to take P1 unless something catastrophic happens to them. And it does look like that Anders is just not close enough. Just not able to get the right sort of opportunities for the R8 to overtake the McLaren. They look pretty evenly squared up here, as Rasmus takes race victory here in race 2 at the Nurburgring GP. 66 takes P2, Anders takes P3, Fabrice Lamy takes P4. The auto director really does like 66, and there is our race leader. There we go, race winner. Well done, Rasmus. Good drive, much better drive than in race 1. Fabrice Lamy takes P4. Jamski is going to take P5. And Mango Banjo takes P6. So let's take a look. I know we didn't do it after race 1. But let's take a look at how the standings are after 2 races. So here is our current standings for the GT4 Season 1 after 2 races. 66 leads the way with 65 points. Rasmus in P2 with 59, only 6 points adrift of 66 after 2 races, which is nice and tight. P3 and P4, Fabrice Lamy and Jamski both have 54 points. In P5 is Connor, Max and Anders, both on 48 points. And Captain Deadly in P7 on 42 points. What's next for the GT4? Well, next Wednesday, which is Wednesday the 13th. It's not unlucky because it's not a Friday. We are Brands Hatch GP and Monza. So if you want to get involved in those, make sure you head over to PNSRL.EU. Sign in with your Steam account, because obviously you need one to do this sort of sim racing on PC. And just join. It's rather simple. I believe I'm already joined up, so I can't really show you. I'll show you how it works for Spa. I'm currently signed in via my Steam. Go to register now. Look at the drop down. There's all of the cars. And I'll be sticking with the R8 for the rest of the series. So I will get nice and registered. And it's that simple. You're in. So if you want to get involved, please do so. We would love more drivers. The whole community would love more drivers, like I said, regardless of your skill. My name is PNSRL. Make sure you leave a like and subscribe to the channel if you found this content remotely interesting, and make sure to leave a comment of what your favourite GT4 car and track combo is. And you never know, I might just nick your idea and make content like everybody else on YouTube. But until then, look after yourselves, and I'll catch you in the next one. See you soon. Bye bye.